Really quick, everybody, this entire vid will be timestamped, so if you don't want to watch all and just get straight into a different topic, please check the pinned comment or the little red bar right down below you. Again, this entire vid will be timestamped, and I'd appreciate you guys watching whatever part you'd like. And if you're sticking around, guys, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with many YouTube channels, and welcome back to a full card reaction. UFC Vegas 73, Dern versus Hill. It was actually a very, very good card. I knew going into this it would be a little bit underrated, but hey, you know what? Most of the fights delivered. Let's talk about it. If you want to skip to my thoughts on a particular fight, again, timestamps are there if you'd like to skip to them. First fight was Takashi Sato versus Themba Gorimbo. Now, it went to a decision, but Themba Gorimbo, I had a lot of questions going into this fight, and this is one of the fights that I talked about in the betting breakdown, where I was like, we haven't seen enough of Themba to really, like, gauge how he's going to do in the UFC, and he looked good. Like, there's nothing too special about him, but I thought he looked very good. Beat Sato, and I can't wait to see him fight next. There's not too much to say about this fight. He just was in control most of the time, and he got a really nice, clean decision win. Next fight was Natalia Silva versus Victoria Leonardo, and wow, did the odds know what they were talking about for this one. Natalia Silva went in and absolutely dominated. It was crazy. A round 1 TKO. It was unbelievable to see. You know what? Like, she looks like she can be a huge problem, and I believe that was at flyweight, right? It was at flyweight. Yes. Flyweight division, and flyweight doesn't have too much competition, so maybe she can be a really, really good top contender up there. So Natalia Silva, can't wait to see her again. I believe that's 2 fights we've seen recently now, but she looks like she's a real deal, man. I'm excited to see her perform again. Then we have Chase Hooper versus Nick Fiore. I'm a big Chase Hooper fan. I always cheer for Chase Hooper, and this was really nice to see him rejuvenated at lightweight. And he was talking about this before we went into the fight, how he put a lot of work into training instead of losing weight, which was very evident. The striking still, it's lacking a little bit, man. The striking was wild, but the pressure he put on was absolutely fantastic. The grappling exchanges were fantastic in this fight. Nick Fiore knew what he was doing on the ground, and I had questions with Nick Fiore going into this too, because again, still haven't seen enough of him to gauge, and I was really interested in this fight. And for me, this actually might have been fight of the night. I really, really enjoyed watching this. The grappling exchanges were great. Nick Fiore did fade, but Chase Hooper put a fantastic pace on him. I'm still not overly convinced on Chase Hooper because his striking still is sloppy. He was throwing punches from everywhere. His chin's right open. So in the lightweight division, I'm not sure how far Chase Hooper will go. He'll still need to improve, but he did have noticeable improvements in this fight. So hopefully he continues making improvements. I like watching Chase Hooper. I'll cheer for him all the way to the top. Next up was Ilir Latifi versus Rodrigo Nascimento. Now, this fight was a little bit boring, to be honest with you. I actually got worried because I bet so many parlays with Rodrigo in it, and I was getting really worried watching the fight. I did give him the fight 2-1, possibly 3-0, so he barely got by. I thought he would look better. I'm certainly not going to be betting on him moving forward. I just really like the matchup specifically with Latifi, his old age, coming out of retirement, stuff like that. So the fight didn't exactly go as expected, but Nascimento did have a nice win here. Then we have Orion Cosce versus Gilbert Urbina, and wow, was that a wildly exciting fight. It ended with a KO on Gilbert Urbina's side, and I gotta say, this is a dude to watch out for. He looked great. I have nothing else to say about it. He looked dangerous. He looked hungry, ready to win, came in, did that. Excited to see where he goes. Speaking of fights that I did not expect, though, Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Vanessa Demopoulos. I was leaning towards the side of Vanessa in this because she's been on a roll and Karolina's kind of on her way out. But man, Karolina still showed that she has some power in her hands. She was piecing up Vanessa Demopoulos. Unbelievable performance by her. I hope she continues winning. I really like Karolina. So if she found herself, she's on a 3-fight win streak now. I hope she continues winning. Man, how cool would it be for that story to have her go all the way back to the strawweight title and actually win it? Will it happen? Absolutely not. No way, but I'm a Karolina fan, man. I hope she keeps going and keeps winning. Great performance by her. Just piece Vanessa Demopoulos up the entire time. Next fight, we had some really nice questions answered. It was Maheshate versus Viacheslav Borchev, and I might still be mispronouncing that name. And I got to say, Borchev, I really liked his post-fight speech, and I wasn't really too familiar with him. This was a big question whether or not he was going to come in with his kickboxing skills and be able to defend the grappling. There wasn't a lot of grappling exchanges going on, but where we expected him to shine was in the striking, and shine he did, man, because he is wildly powerful, accurate. His striking looked fantastic. So if he can continue to improve the groundwork and continue to just manage to stay the fight on the feet. Sorry, I'm losing my words a little bit here. He has the potential to go somewhere. I'd still need to see more from him, but he looked great in this performance. There was a lot of hype on Maheshate in this fight. Main card, this was a bet that I actually lost just because I wasn't overly confident on Michael Johnson, but I threw, I believe it was $10 on him because I did like the odds for his chances winning. And Diego Ferreira, man, Whew! Michael Johnson still has his speed, but man, was that a solid shot. It reminds me of that one Edson Barboza knockout where Michael Johnson just fell back and was stiff. One of those scary knockouts, man. Ferreira looked good. Ferreira still has it. He didn't look good in the first round. I was like, oh, solid. I know Michael Johnson will win this fight. But then he just got clipped. One of those fights, it's a little unfortunate. But Ferreira, happy for him. I like Ferreira too. It was just, I wasn't so confident Michael Johnson. Again, he's one of those guys. He's 22-19 now. He can beat anybody. He can lose to anybody. That is the story of Michael Johnson, and we saw that happen again. Very good performance from Diego Ferreira, though. Next fight on the card, Andre Fialho versus Joaquin Buckley. This fight went exactly as expected. Little back and forth. Joaquin Buckley found the chin at a new welterweight division, and he looked big. He looked strong. Chinned him when had like a really actually like crazy moment standing over him. I guess there was bad blood on the side of maybe both of them, but especially Joaquin Buckley because he gave him an extra shot even when the ref pushed him off, which I thought was horrible, but still. Fantastic performance by Joaquin Buckley. I'm excited to see him and where he goes in the division. Not convinced he'll get to the top yet, but man, this is the weight class for him. He looked good, healthy, big, strong, chinned Andre Fialho. I'll need to see him fight somebody a little bit more on the next level before I judge how far he's actually going to go in the welterweight division. Next fight, Emily Ducote versus Lupita Godinez. And man, this fight, I'm not going to lie to you, I was a little bit not so entertained in this fight. It was okay, but Godinez got the decision. Nothing too special happened there. A lot of people expected that to happen, especially with Emily Ducote's record, but what can I say? I don't have too much to say about this fight, to be honest with you. Co-main event, Edmund Shabazian versus Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez was my lock of the card, and man, he got it done. I was worried for him at the beginning of the fight, dude, because he was eating powerful jabs from Edmund, but then he found his footing and did what Anthony Hernandez does, and Edmund Shabazian lost in the way we know Edmund to lose. It was a sad performance. I was cheering for Edmund, actually, to be honest with you, because I want him to win. He seems like an okay dude. I was cheering for him, especially because now we have to worry about his career. You know what I mean? So nothing we can say about it. Hernandez went in, looked fantastic, looked like a killer in there. I cannot wait to see where this dude goes because he is seemingly a problem for the division. But man, looking good. Looking good. Can't wait to see him for this next fight. And I hope Edmund gets another opportunity to continue fighting in the UFC. Main event, Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill. And this is one of the fights on the card where I got wrong. And even in my betting breakdown video, I was like, man, I can't remember. I think it was $10 I threw on Angela Hill because I liked the odds and I was very impressed by Angela Hill's past performances. But I was like, man, I've gotten bit in the butt so many times by betting on women's MMA, and it happened. Now, I was watching the fight and I was like, well, that's what I get for betting seriously on women's MMA again. Anything can happen. I really thought Angela Hill was going to win. I was very surprised Mackenzie Dern. She looked like an absolute killer out there. And actually, the fight itself was quite entertaining. I did not expect to see that. And that fight could have been stopped at multiple points throughout the fight. Angela Hill, she has heart, but Mackenzie Dern was just better on the night. She was better everywhere, almost found the submissions. You could tell Angela Hill was trying the entire time, but she was just a step behind. Mackenzie Dern looked great. Can't wait to see her and where she moves on to next because she looked like a reinvented version of herself tonight. But with that being said, guys, that is my reaction to every single fight on the card that we saw yesterday. Let me know what you thought down below, and was there anything that you took away? Let me know again. I'd love to talk to you in the comments down below. And thank you so much for watching, guys. If you were new here and enjoyed the content, please consider like button, help the channel a ton, and subscribe if you are brand new. If you want to keep watching the channel, though, on the screen right now, we will have 2 fantastic Clenbat videos for you to watch. Check them out. They're great. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you there. Take care.